This is a Risograph printer. If you've ever looked at a zine, an art print, a poster, and thought, wait, why are the colors slightly off, but also weirdly awesome? That's this machine, and it's not a mistake. A Risograph printer looks a lot like a photocopier, but it prints much more similarly to a screen printer, which is why these prints look the way that they do. Today, I'm at Outlet PDX in Portland, which is where I print. And I'm gonna open up one of these machines and show you exactly how it works when you make a Riso print. By the end of this video, you'll learn 3 things about Risograph printing that will make it make so much more sense. Why Riso needs multiple files for one print, why the slightly off look is the whole point, and what these machines have opinions about, which is a lot. A risograph is a high-speed stencil duplicator. And that sounds dry. So an easier way to think about it is a risograph is if a screen printer and a photocopier had a weird baby. Risograph is actually a brand name made by a Japanese company called Riso Kagaku. First released in 1980. It was originally built for high volume and cheap office copying. Artists later adopted it because of its unique printing process and the aesthetics. And the Riso inks are really unique because there are a huge variety of colors. And most importantly, a lot of these inks are translucent, which means that when you overlap the 2 colors, you get a 3rd color. So keep that in the back of your mind as you're watching the rest of this video. Okay, let's open up the machine. This is the part that will make everything click. These machines at Outlet hold 1 ink drum at a time, but other machines can hold 2 ink drums at a time so that you can switch the colors faster. Either way, the process stays the same. And when you want to change colors, you swap the drums. The machine can read your artwork through a USB cable for a digital file or through the scanner bed for analog artwork. Sending in a digital file is way more accurate and easier to control than using the scanner bed. So that's what I usually do. And these are the control settings on the machine. This is the ink drum. And the most important thing here is called the master. The master is a thin stencil sheet. Once the machine reads your artwork, it makes the master by burning tiny holes into that master sheet. That master wraps around the drum, and ink gets pushed through those tiny holes onto the paper as the drum rotates. And if you're doing another color, you'll make a new master and do another pass. So at its most basic level, the machine will read your artwork, it burns the master, and then you print. And here's one really important concept. 1 master equals 1 color layer. So for a 3-color print, you're gonna need to create 3 masters. And for a 4-color print, you're gonna need to make 4 masters. And each time you move on to the next color, the old master gets discarded. So once you burn your master, make your prints, and then burn another master, you can't go back to that first one. And this is why I like to think about risograph printing as a layering process. You're not sending in one flattened image with all the colors and then getting that back. You are building a print 1 layer at a time. A lot of people might wonder why some risograph prints might look misaligned. Because every color layer is printed separately, every new layer is a chance for the paper to shift a little bit. And that shift is called misregistration. And in Riso, it's extremely normal. Industry tolerance for misregistration is 1 to 3 millimeters. So you're not crazy if you see this shift in your artwork, but also remember that it doesn't mean that it's automatically a mistake. And tell me in the comments, does learning about Riso printing make you want to start right away? Or would this slight misalignment drive you completely insane? So 1 color, easy. 2 colors, you need to make sure that those layers are lining up properly. 3 or 4 color layers, and now you're stacking up the chances for a big shift in your artwork. So when you prepare your artwork for risograph printing, keep in mind that you are not designing for perfect precision. You are designing with the machine in mind. So once you know your prints will probably shift, you can design around it and with it. Here are 3 tips that helped me in the beginning when designing for Riso. Use bolder shapes and be careful when designing with text. Tiny shifts don't tend to ruin a big shape, but they do when you're working with smaller detail, especially text. I would recommend that your text layer is only printed with 1 color so that it doesn't depend on 2 layers lining up perfectly. Trapping means letting one layer extend slightly into another layer, so that if your print shifts, you don't end up with this awkward little white gap between the two color layers. Riso does not print all the way to the edge, and most studios want at least a ½ inch margin around your artwork. I usually give myself at least 3/4 of an inch to a full inch to be extra safe. You have to remember that you can't print full bleed on a Risograph printer the way that you can with some digital printers. So the machine rewards bold shapes, intentionally layered colors, and flexibility. So do yourself a favor and build tolerance for shift into your artwork. These machines can be really temperamental. So here are a few things that the machines have opinions about and what you need to consider when you're printing. Riso works best on uncoated, slightly textured paper. Glossy, thick, coated stock is not what you want. The ink just will not absorb right. Thinner, uncoated paper also tends to feed a lot more reliably than slick, heavy stock. Riso ink is vegetable-based, usually a soy or a rice bran oil, and the ink sits on the surface of your stock and slowly absorbs into the paper. So it can smudge if you handle your prints too fast, and multi-layer prints might need a little bit of drying time in between passes. Your drying time also probably will be weather sensitive. So if it is a hot, dry day, you can expect your prints to dry a lot faster than if it's a cold, wet day. The rollers that feed the paper can pick up ink and leave little streak marks on your next print. And most of the time you can gently erase these track marks, but you have to be careful not to erase into your artwork. Most Riso printers don't love a huge, dense, solid ink coverage. You can get streaking, smudging, or general machine drama. So if you do want a big, solid area of color, you can tone it down just a little bit by using halftones instead of printing at 100%. Every machine has its own personality, and every color behaves a little bit differently. So part of learning Riso is learning your particular machine's likes and dislikes. So after hearing all that, you might be thinking, Riso sounds awesome, but also kind of annoying. And yeah, that's part of it. But this is exactly why artists love it. The colors are so gorgeous, and you have access to a huge amount of them. Unlike inkjet or laser printing, which use CYMK toners, which just blend 4 colors, with Riso printing, you have upwards of 20 different ink colors. Some are metallic, some are neon, and most of them are translucent. So 2 inks can give you way more colors when you work with overlap and opacity. Also, each print has enough variation to make it feel handmade. And once the master is made, the machine is fast, like really fast, which is why Riso is so good for art print editions, posters, and zines. It's also why it's not worth all the setup just to make one print. But for runs of 50 to 100 prints, that's when the economics of it start making more sense and the process really shines. Riso works best for layered graphic work, not ultra-precise alignment, glossy surfaces, or photographic finish. A digital printer will do a much better job at those. But when you have a project that suits the medium, Riso can make it feel so special. So if you want prints that have texture, character, and feel like a beautifully crafted object, Riso is the perfect medium for you. If you remember only 3 things from this video, make them these. Risograph printing happens 1 layer at a time. Slight misregistration is normal, and a lot of artists actually love it. Paper, drying time, ink coverage matter way more than beginners might expect. So if you've got those 3, this process stops feeling so mysterious, and it starts being approachable, and honestly, way more fun. And if you want to learn exactly how I prepare my artwork for risograph printing in Photoshop, watch this video next, and I show you how to separate your color layers. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!